and welcome to We the People. It started off reportedly as an altercation between an angry workers' union and the management side of Maruti Suzuki. But by the end of it, it had resulted in the murder of a senior manager called Avnish Kumar Dev, and many other people, many other management officials were injured. Now, Avnish Kumar Dev, who was fractured in the assault, left unconscious, burnt alive. A mob that reportedly came in with car parts, chains and iron rods, leaves behind a family and friends that are asking whether justice will be served. But there are larger questions that India is asking. And India is asking what sort of message emerges from what is no longer just an altercation. What is this about? Is this an industrial dispute? Is it orchestrated mob violence? What does it say about labour laws in general? And what is the sort of message it's sending out about our industrial projects? Lots of questions, but before we begin today, a message from Avnish's wife, who is saying, why should any wife have to explain this to her young child? Appealing for everybody to get together and get justice for her husband. Before I come to the panel today, I want to start with two people who actually are Avnish's friends, and they wrote in to us very anguished and heartbreaking emails. To my right is Ram Kumar and Srini, both batchmates of Avnish, who was, as we said, murdered at Manesar. And Ram, I'd like to start with you. When you wrote the email to me, you said, why should this mob of workers be treated any differently from a politician who was found guilty of inciting communal violence? You saw it as an open and shut black and white case. Why did you see it like that? Of course, the tragedy is awful, but this was a very strong statement that you made to me.
To me, it doesn't matter whether the person who was murdered was a manager or a worker. We should not mix the issue. When there is a murder and when a set of people come in and they know what to do and they carry it out, there has to be a leader. I do not buy this spontaneity theory. In any other case, whether it is in the political domain or in a social domain or in a communal domain, we would call this and call for the head of the leader. Why are we not calling for the head of the leader here? We will pick up the foot soldiers and we will pick one or two people, and to me they are actually equally as pathetic as the person who died.
You're saying you have a discomfort with those who try to position this as a class war?
If this was a class war and if social divide leads to people dying, thousands of people should be dying on the road every day. So why does the social divide only manifest at workplace? Why is it not manifesting in other places? I am not saying there is no social divide, but that rationalization and that justification to me is abhorrent.
Let me take this to the Chief Secretary of the Haryana government. Mr. Chaudhary, two things. One, what I found very significant in what Ram Kumar has said is that do not arrest those guilty on the fringes, arrest the ringleader. This coincides with two very gripping newspaper headlines. One that suggests that actually the wrong people have been arrested. In other words, those named in the FIR are not the same as the 91 workers who were rounded up by the police. The other is Suparna, Avnish's wife's statement saying, if the cops present had acted as they should have, my husband would have still been alive today. Do you first accept that this was the failure by the police? And two, do you concede that some wrongful arrests may have been made which actually defeats the purpose then?
Well, both the answers are negative. Let me just start by saying it's a very unfortunate incident which took place, and we never expected, management never expected, that a simple altercation can result in violence of the type which was witnessed. Let me answer the second question first. The FIR is the first information report in which some people are named, but the FIR also says that there were other people also involved in this. Now, it is a question of detailed investigation, and it is also not always true that everyone named in the FIR is ultimately found to be involved in the incident.
It's a beginning of an investigation.
Yes. The second thing is, let me assure everyone, the workers, the management, everyone, the public at large, that anyone guilty of any crime shall be punished. We're very clear on that.
Can I quickly ask you before I go to Manish Tiwari, why did the police not act?
Essentially speaking, It was perceived as a simple altercation between a worker and a supervisor.
But they
the
didn't- they were-
management did not foresee that it will result in this kind of violence. They did not inform the district administration that there would be need for adequate police force. The police force which was present at the spot, they were just about 50 men. They were outside the gate and they were not armed policemen. Inside, the number of workers who collected was very large.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.